What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, Some. Hit the keys. Here today to do a quick review and demonstration over Phoenix Riser Hit and Whoosh Maker by VIR2. Basically, it is a riser slash whoosh slash hit maker. You can layer up to 4 different levels of that riser, and you can do all kinds of different stuff with it. Make sure if you guys like this content, though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell, so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. But let's go ahead and get right into this review. Some, hit the key. All right, guys. So when you open up the plugin, it's going to look like this. It is for Contact, so it's a Contact library, but it is good for the Contact 6 free player. So just like every other Contact library, you're just going to load it up and boom, it'll be right here. As you can see down here, it's got 4 different layers that you can use. And you can make hits at the end, or you can turn them into whooshes. You can do all kinds of different stuff with there. It has effects, it has modulations, it has a ton of different samples. It has a bunch of different stuff that makes this pretty unique as a plugin. So before we get started, I made a little sample beat using the riser. So I'm going to go ahead and play that so you guys can hear it. I have the riser coming in at 3 different spots, so I'll just play that there so that you can hear it. The beat's not all the way mixed down, but here we go. All right, so that's the little beat that I put together for you guys. Let's go ahead and hop into the plugin. When you look at the plugin, again, it's going to look like this. The plugin's pretty smart. So what I like about it is, like, if I click on samples, I can just click on whichever box that I want to mess with. But we'll go ahead and start with time first, since it's the first effect here. With the time, you can change the beat, or you can change it in seconds. So, like, let's say this is what the riser sounds like. I can change the time of the riser, so I can make it go longer if I want to, and it'll still stay high quality. So it won't change the way that it sounds. I mean, as far as the quality. So that's pretty dope. So we're just going to go ahead and put it back down to 4 though. And next we have samples. So if I click on sample, I can just change it by clicking on whatever box I wanted to change the sample in. So as you see here, there's a whole bunch of different samples. There's samples for like simple, dark, instrumental. I mean, they got all kinds of stuff. And if you just double click on it, you can hear what it sounds like. So that's pretty tight. And then they have a whole bunch of different samples. As you're scrolling through, you can see they got guitars, they got everything. So that's pretty nice. So let's go ahead and use this one. So now, like, let's say I come down here. I want to go over this part real quick with these keys, because I'm going to be hitting those. So I want you guys to know what I'm doing throughout the demonstration. If I hit this first one, it's going to play all of the risers together, and it's going to play it all the way to the end. If I hit this second one, it's just going to play the riser. And if I hit this blue one right here, it's going to play just a hit. So that way you don't have to listen to the whole riser and hit when you're deciding what you want to do. It makes it a little quicker for you to be able to cipher through the sound as you're trying to select what you want. Next up, if I hit this right here, this is just going to play whichever, or the first riser. And it's going to play the end as well. So each one of these keys, as you see, there's 4 of them highlighted. The second key is going to play the second riser. This one's going to play the third one. So what's nice about this plugin that I like a lot is that you can build different risers together. Obviously, I mean, I guess it's common sense at this point as we're looking through it and we are discovering. Right here, when you push this one, you see it's only going to play the first part. So then the same thing with this blue one, it's only going to play the hits. And then if you play this one right here, it just comes at the end so that you can hear what it sounds like transitioning in. So let's go ahead and come back up here to sample some more. So like, let's say I click over here, it's going to automatically take me to hits. So whenever you click back and forth, it'll take you from risers to hits without a problem. And so there's a ton of different hits, as you can see here as well. You know, you have everything that you need, you know, basically for hits. I mean, there's a ton of sounds and hits. As you can see, each library has a whole bunch of different hits and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get on to the next part. We'll talk about the modulations a little bit. So with the modulations, with this, you see that there's 4 different modulations that you can have. In order to turn them on, you have to click on whichever riser combination that you want to use the modulation for. So like, let's say I want to use this panning modulation. So this is what it's going to sound like before I use the panning modulation. All right, so now let's say I turn this modulation on. I want you guys to listen to it now. So that's pretty fire. And then the same thing with, like, let's say volume. They have a step sequencer. So you can make the volume go up and down on the hit as you want. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to draw on. Sorry, I'm stuttering there. It's easy to draw on though. So boom, now look, like, let's say I just turn it on. You don't have to turn it on every riser either, which can make the risers so unique. But let's go ahead and check this out. So that's pretty nice as well. It's got the same thing with pitch. So, you know, you can throw a pitch on these as well and change the way that it sounds. So you can get so original with this, and it's also got a reverb. So I'm going to turn all the rest of them off and then just turn the reverb on for this one so that you guys can actually just hear the reverb. So like, let's say I have the reverb off and this one's going to sound like this. All right, so now let's say I turn reverb on. Now listen to it. So as you can see, I have this step sequencer. I have the reverb down all the way until the end. So then the reverb just kicked at the end. But if I was to turn the reverb up, this is what it would sound like. So it makes it super wide. So that's pretty nice as well. I must say I do like that. And there's obviously a bunch of controls. You know, so you can control the size, the time, the dampening, the stereo width, the low shelf, the high cut, so on and so forth. The volume, you can change to be quarter notes, eighth notes, 16 time, whatever it is that you want it to be. So that's a very nice feature as well. So now as we get down here to the bottom, you can do multiple things. So you can mirror this. And so instead of it just being a hit, you can mirror this and it'll reverse it. So like, let's say I mirror this, boom. Now you see how it's mirrored. Now check it out. Or I can make it a whoosh. So if I hit this button right here, and so like if I whoosh all of them now, except for one, make one a hit. So like you can do so much with this thing right here. I think it's pretty fire. It's also got panning, it's got attack. Let's go ahead and change this back. It's got an offset, so you can offset it. Or like things like let's say you want just the riser to not all the risers to start at the same time. You can change when the riser starts by moving this over. And then you can also pull this to the beginning. So like, let's say you want it to be just a funky riser. So I'm pretty sure this isn't going to sound fire, but this is just for, you know, to show you guys for the demonstration. So, you know, something unique, you know, you can do unique stuff with risers. So it is pretty fire little riser, little plugin. So that's the plugin in a nutshell. It is $200. It's currently on sale for $150. In my personal opinion, I think that it might should be half that price, but you know, it is what it is. Who is this for? It's probably for anybody who's making cinematic beats or house music or any kind of music that uses a bunch of risers. I mean, really, you can use it in any genre because obviously we do risers for transitions and stuff like this. What makes this nice versus the typical riser is just the fact that you can layer so much together. It's got so many hits. It has an expansive library of risers and stuff like that. It would be perfect for movie scoring and all of that. Make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. All right, guys and gals, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so every time a new video comes out, you can be the first to know. Let me know what tutorials you want to see next in the comments, and see you next time.
Sum, hit the key.